police chief in Tehran says 5 suspects have been arrested following 2 separate attacks in the capital of Iran. Attacks that killed at least 12 people. Check it out here. The parliament was targeted, so was a mausoleum for Ayatollah Khomeini. The ISIS terror group claiming responsibility. This video coming in, gunfire could be heard as assailants storming the nation's legislature in Tehran, armed with assault rifles, explosives. There was a siege that lasted for hours. In the end, the 4 attackers all killed. Iranian state television reporting that one of the 4 blew himself up inside of parliament itself. Plus this, in a separate attack, a suicide bomber detonating a device at the mausoleum for Iran's revolutionary leader, Ayatollah Khomeini. With more on this story, we're joined by Tara Kargalu. She is an international journalist covering the Middle East. She has been following closely what is happening in Iran. She's coming to us today from New York City. Tara, good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
How were these people able to get inside what I can only imagine has got to be a pretty secure facility in Tehran? I mean, the parliament itself.
Absolutely. And that's something that a lot of people are talking about. This morning, I started making calls and talking to folks inside Iran and also witnesses near the parliament. And what we're hearing and what has happened is that these 2 attacks happened simultaneously, one at the shrine and one at the parliament. What happened is the terrorists had the intention of going inside the parliament where the members of the parliament were gathered, but they were not successful in doing that. They gathered among the crowd that was at the gates of sort of the courtyard entering the parliament, and that's when they started shooting. And as you can imagine, it's very crowded in that area, so they made their way by gunning down a security guard. Then they got into the sort of area where employees were. So they did not make it inside the area where the members of the parliament were, but they certainly made it to an area where employees and government officials were and carried out the attack. One of the questions that is now being raised is the level of security and how they were even able to carry the amount of ammunition that they had with them in that very, very secure and safe area.
The other thing I'm curious is what you make of ISIS doing this and whether you think this is just the beginning now of a sustained campaign by ISIS against Iran itself.
Todd, one of the things that I want to mention is that a few months ago, ISIS, in a video, made a claim against Iran, and they were very outspoken about their threats and what they want to carry out inside the country that has been fighting against their forces in Syria and Iraq. But really, that did not get a lot of play in Western media. And today, we saw this unprecedented attack in Iran. Iran, as you know, has been really priding itself from being a safe environment and a safe country and safe zone in a very volatile region. And today, also, we saw more threats coming out of ISIS channels. So this is a very alarming situation for Iran, but also its neighboring countries.
Tara, great to have you on CTV. Thank you for getting to our studios in New York and doing this today.
Thank you for having me.